Good evening, everyone. My name is Adesoy Sizabo. Um, Tonight I'll be talking on humanities in the 21st century. But before I start my presentation, I'd like to say it's been a pleasure taking this course. I've learned a great deal taking this course, and I see myself learning more about art and humanity. What can humanities offer in the 21st century? There's been a lot of debate recently across the globe about the importance and value of humanities in our education system. But humanities are just as relevant, if not more, so now than they have ever been. Humanities help people understand others through their languages, histories, and cultures. The humanities encourages us to reason about being human and to ask questions about our world. The importance of humanities can bring an insight on the history, culture, language, and literature of people. The subject studied can also result into more options to explore from while choosing a career path. Humanities has really helped in the 21st century, and I have some sculptures, paintings, pictures, music to explain more about it. As a philosopher, humanities can help encompass ideas and issues in every domain of human existence. The humanities teach us habits of critical thought and the historical perspective necessary for citizenship in a democracy, and they help us to think about how to use technology to make the world a better home for humanity. The first element of humanities I'll be talking about tonight is painting, and under painting I chose to talk about the Great Wave of Kanagawa. This painting is a woodblock print by a Japanese artist in 1831. It was published sometime between 1829 and 1833. It is a polychrome multicolored woodblock print made of ink and color on paper that is approximately 10 by 14 inches. The painting portrays two contrasting aspects of existence. The second painting I'll be talking about tonight is the Mona Lisa painting. As we all know, this is one of the most 50 famous paintings in the world. The Mona Lisa painting by Leonardo da Vinci in 1503 was painted as oil on wood, that is, on 77 by 53 centimeter poplar wood. The painting was mostly painted in Florence, Italy. It has been suggested that the portrait of Mona Lisa is in fact Leonardo's female version of himself. The painting has an imperfection. It is a portrait of a rich lady named Lisa Gerardini, a fact which was only known for sure in 2005. It is famous because the lady's expression is hard to define since she doesn't have an eyebrows or eyelashes. The other element of humanities I'll be talking about is sculpture. And as we all know, the David sculpture is a very good sculpture and is famous in the whole world. This statue was sculpted by Michelangelo. It was made between 1501 and 1504. It is located at a museum called the Accademia Gallery in Florence, Italy. This sculpture is 5.16 meters, that is almost 17 feet, and it is made up of marble from the quarries in Carrara in Tuscany. The other element of humanities I'll be talking about today is music. And in music, I chose to talk about the Turkish march. Like, it has the rondo genre. This was composed by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart at the age of 27 in 1783 in Vienna. The third and final movement, known popularly as the Turkish March, is in the rondo form and was entitled Alla Turca by Mozart himself. He had a band which are thought to be the oldest form of military marching bands in the world. The other type of music that I'll be talking about tonight is the Moonlight Sonata. This was composed by Ludwig van Beethoven in summer of 1801. It was published in 1802 and was dedicated to Beethoven's Pipio and Passion. The sonata is one of the most popular piano sonatas from the Beethoven's creation. The name Moonlight Sonata was also named by poet Ludwig, who in 1833 had his had this inspiration on a moonlight night. The other type of element of humanities I'll be talking about tonight is photography. This is a beautiful picture taken by a photographer, and the name of the photographer is John McNally. He's an award-winning photographer with international recognition. His work is quite popular in more than 70 countries. According to his biography, McNally is known worldwide as not only one of the top technically excellent photographers of his generation, but his charming demeanor, confidence, and humor make him a sought-after choice from CEOs to celebrities to commercial and magazine clients alike. He is among the rare breed of photographer who has bridged the wall between photojournalism and advertising. Amazing and impressive commercial and advertising clients lists include FedEx, Sony, ESPN, Adidas, Lands' End, General Electric, Epson, MetLife, USAA, New York Stock Exchange, Lehman Brothers, PNC, Bank, and the Belgian Cultural Commission. His photos have featured in top magazines like National Geographic Channel. Another picture that I'll be showing you today is a picture taken by Eric Almas. He is a photographer from Norway currently living in San Francisco. He was given a camera as present at the age of 12, and since then, his exploration of photography has taken him many places. He pursued his education in photography at the Academy of Art University for 4 years. He was under some of the best tutors and mentors and developed his own sense of photography, which has definitely made his career. He is the proud recipient of numerous awards, and his photos are featured in some of the top fashion magazines, news magazines, and so on. Well, these are some of my word citations, some of the places I took my information from, and thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure taking this class.